our data structures in SAP. Okay, in SAP, there is a client-specific data and cross-client customizing. Now, what is the difference between the two? The difference is quite apparent, and that is, for example, if I go to SE11, Mara, and change, continue. Okay, this is the client. What do you mean by client here? As I told you in the last lecture, the client is a specific landscape available to you for testing, configuration, development, user acceptance testing. This is one landscape. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you have 100 companies or one company running this client. This is your SAP landscape 100. And for that, we have a table that is available only to this client. Okay. For example, if I take, if I take, if I take T bar, doggone language. Okay. Oh, here we don't have any client selection or client landscape. It's not specific to a client. Now, these are variables in selection criteria. What is selection criteria? Selection criteria is when we are, for example, N, this is selection criteria. This is the selection criteria. Okay, filters or fields or categories. We have categories for general, we have categories for country or company code. We have categories by class, by purchasing, by material. These are your search filters. Okay, so these are these variables, search variables. 11. So these search variables are universally available across every client. Okay. These are universally available to every client. Okay. So that is client specific and cross client customizing. So a client is a unit within SAP, which is self-contained in terms of business organization and data. The client is characterized by the fact that it has its own business data environment. So the development that you're doing, it's happening in a business data environment. So this is client specific, as you just had a look at. Repository, where all configuration, development, code, source code is stored, and it is also cross-client. It is available through packages for other clients as well. It has all the data elements, tables, programs, domains, menus, and screens. So these are combined together to form packages. So what are containers and what are packages? These are linked objects with logic that connects programs and tables. Okay. So repositories are uh, cross-client. These are cross-client. SC38 function for change Let's say I will write a program one, create um, 8th of May, executable, save. Now this package, the package is cross-client. If I say $temp, which is nothing but local object. Local object means it resides in my server or in my system and it's not transportable. That makes it a local object. So a package is cross-client by default, but if you make it local object explicitly, it then actually is non-transportable. So packages are containers which have tables and programs which are logically connected. So this is the client 100 and 200, and every client will have user authorizations which can be separate, because client 100 can be production client and client 200 can be development and configuration client. Over here, only users with certain set and levels of authorization will be allowed to use client 100. Client 200 will be, though this is as it is development configuration client, every user and consultant will have full access, but over here it will have restricted access because production is live business data, while client 200 is just practice data, configuration or testing data, or user acceptance testing or QA data. Okay. So thing is, as an ABAP consultant, you can customize programs, codes, logics, functions, tables, programs in repository objects like tables, programs, function modules for every module. So there are groupings, separate groupings for finance, CEO, HR, and so on for every module. So now coming back to or starting with the advanced programming, let's go over some concepts which will help you to understand what we are into. First, let's write a program, okay, that will help you. Local object, program one, okay. Okay, now program one, let's say, let me start with parameters. Now parameters is turning blue, which means that this is a keyword in SAP, keyword of SAP syntax. Okay, P name 10 type C. Okay, every statement will end with a full stop. Okay, that is necessary. Right, the input was right, justified. Right, P underscore name, right, and okay. Utilities, settings, front end editor, postal editor, okay. Text-based editor, okay. Work with general, everything okay. Right end, check, no syntax errors, activate. enter, direct processing, P name, name. The input was right justified for your NASIC and okay. Check, enter, processing. Input was right justified to your NASIC and was not right justified, was left justified. So thing is, let's write down another program. What will be that program? That will be another program. Program two. Program two. Program. Save local object. Okay. Let's make it a little more parameters. P underscore name 10 type C. Type C means type character. It will accept character. Start of selection. Right. Input was left justified. Okay. Okay. Start of selection. It is showing me red in right. As soon as I put a full stop, it actually corrects me. Okay. At selection screen output, right? P underscore name. Okay. Right. And okay. Check. Activate. Enter. Direct processing. That's it. Input was left justified, but it not print right. Okay. Right. The input was at selection screen output right name. Good. Okay. But it is not collecting the end part. Okay. Let's see. Execute. So anything that is being executed within this block, which is starting from selection and at selection screen output, it will be considered. Right end. Activate. Processing. execute, and it is giving us the output. Okay. Now, I'll change this a little bit. Start of selection, p underscore name equals was net was net activate direct processing. It's not selecting. Okay. It right rename. Okay. Wait, okay. Direct processing. Honda City was net. It is only producing the was net. Okay. It is giving precedence to this. Okay. Activate. Direct processing. Honda City was net. It's giving precedence because it's hard coded. Okay. It's hard coded. Why? Because we fixed it with was net. Okay, let's do one thing. Instead of write p name and let's x and okay. Great. I hope this is clear. You're getting the logic, right? You're getting a flavor of how SAP works. Now it's giving us was net. I say I want Sujit. Life input was left just fine. Okay. The underscore was net. If I bring this code here, activate. It. One 188 execute and it's not producing that because we are out of this block. Start of selection and selections being output. Okay. So thing is SAP will actually, ABAP will respond to you in a ways where you can execute and experiment with lots of ways. So we have three layers where we are writing code at this level, application level, and we will see in the next classes how we will be writing onto the database, what syntax we'll be using, and how presentation layers are actually presented with. Now, what we have been doing with the code was we were working on the application layer, and the presentation layer was giving us different results. So all modules in SAP are developed with ABAP, and it is an event driven, save, write, execute. These are event driven programming. Okay. So we will be using ABAP editor for programming, data dictionary for uh, producing tables, painter for producing reports, forms, and user interface for different modules, menu painter for designing the menu. Okay, we've seen SE11, SE38. SE11 actually takes you into the tables where different fields and the characteristics are shown. You should be exploring these two transactions. Okay, so we've also seen that an ABAP word that we actually use here is a keyword. Anything in blue is a keyword by SAP. So also ABAP is not post sensitive, case sensitive, and you can write as any format of your program as you may want. Okay.